But I do know like the core behind smoking is like a stress reliever for the most part of my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. What's going on, family? Welcome to another video. It's your boy Fanzo Chery. For those who haven't been to my channel, my space, I just want to say welcome to the team, welcome to the family. We are reacting to vapes versus smoking. Is it worse? Is it not? And honestly, I want to know the difference. My first reaction, I would say, is smoking for sure. I never vaped ever. I've done hookah, so I don't know if that's the same. I don't do it now, but hookah was a big thing growing up. But let's just see how this goes. Let's see what they say.
1 out of every 5 high school students currently vapes in the US, and in the UK, 7% of kids aged 11 to 17 now vape. And that number has nearly...
Nah, that's wild. That's out of pocket. Age 11? What are you going through at 11 to, hey, I'm going to go ahead and vape? That's crazy.
doubled in the last 2 years, so currently more young people vape than smoke cigarettes. But with the news of vape deaths amongst young people, the insane chemical flavoring and lack of regulation amongst new vapes, could science now say that vaping is worse than cigarettes? To start, the nicotine in vapes hits your bloodstream and brain faster than cigarettes. This is because vapes consist of a coil that ranges from 110 degrees Celsius to 1000 degrees Celsius, which creates thermal conditions for a carrier like propylene glycol, which is literally stage smoke. Yes, when you are vaping, you're inhaling like Taylor Swift stage smoke right into your lungs. Mixed with an active ingredient, most commonly nicotine, and chemical flavorings, the vape smoke hits your lungs in a way that studies show ushers nicotine faster into your bloodstream and brain than cigarettes. Another study found that the sheer way that people hit vapes so hard, bro, each puff gives you more nicotine in vapes than in cigarettes. And nicotine is an intense drug. I always say that the hardest drug I did this year at Pride was when I hit someone's vape at a rave and I was ripped. This is because when you vape, the nicotine enters your bloodstream through the lungs, where it quickly makes its way to your head and passes through the blood-brain barrier to go directly into your brain. Here, the nicotine causes a series of complex biochemical processes to increase dopamine, cause feelings of motivation, awareness, concentration, elevated mood, and other neurochemical processes that will relax your muscles. Nicotine's an interesting drug. It makes you feel mentally aware and alert while physically relaxing. It's an amazing feeling that people get addicted to. As the nicotine rush ends...
No, I know I have a few friends that smoke cigarettes. I have a few friends that smoke weed. I have a few friends that vape. So I can see the parallel between all three of them when it comes to, there's some that do it to ease their mind. There's some that it's just a habit they're hooked on. They're trying to get back to their first high, right? And then for the ones that vape, it's kind of like, I don't want to smoke cigarettes and I don't want to smoke weed, so I choose the alternative. So it's like a weird interlude balance type of situation that goes on with people that smoke in general. But I do know the core behind smoking is like a stress reliever for the most part of my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below.
Cravings begin, and most recent studies show that the cravings appear within 4 hours of your last nicotine hit. In theory, this whole process is more intense with vapes than cigarettes because vapes have more nicotine in them. Nicotine also alters blood flow in your body, making people with penises lose their penis girth. Yep, a bit of watermelon ice can shrink your dick. One study found that men who use e-cigarettes are more than twice as likely to experience erectile dysfunction compared to those who don't vape. 13,000 men aged 20 and older who had daily e-cigarette use were 2.2.
Hey fellas, if you vaping right now and you have a dysfunction, erectional dysfunction, ED, this could be the reason why. This is great to have education. This is great to have conversations on things that we expose our bodies to. So I'm glad that this is showcasing that. I never knew that. So I will be passing this information along as well.
Times more likely to report having erectile dysfunction compared to men who had never vaped, regardless of other risk factors. Because ED is caused by nicotine and there's more nicotine in vaping than cigarettes, in theory, you will get more erectile dysfunction.
My bad, y'all. I'm sorry for keep pausing, but this just came to my mind. It's the fact that most places you can't really like smoke. Well, I live in Florida, so I can only speak to the Floridians, right? Most places you can't really like smoke cigarettes inside, right, so to speak. But with vaping, you get more opportunity to smoke. If you get what I'm saying, like you can kind of like, even if it's not allowed, they kind of like sneak it in to just do it. Versus a cigarette, you kind of have to get it done right then and there and then put it out type of situation. But that's crazy.
From vaping. Now, you also may have heard of the mysterious vaping deaths that as of February 2020 had 2,807 patients hospitalized with severe lung issues from vaping, some of who were under 18 years old, and 68 people ended up dying. What you may not have heard is that these deaths were actually from THC vapes, which are less regulated than nicotine vapes. Some of the THC vapes had a chemical called vitamin E acetate in them, which when inhaled ravaged people's lungs and alveoli, leaving them with symptoms of coughing, wheezing, and chest pain. Doctors were shocked and scared at first, but the general consensus was that mistakenly there was vitamin E acetate ending up in THC vapes, which was killing people. It created a disease called e-cigarette or vaping use associated lung injury, aka E-Valley. Now the hope is that there obviously isn't vitamin E acetate in THC vapes anymore, but again, E-Valley, the disease, was never caused by nicotine vapes. But that doesn't mean there isn't other wild chemicals in these vapes because of the flavoring. The concept of vaping was designed to be tasteless and ugly as a mechanism to help people quit cigarettes. But capitalism came a-calling, and to expand the vaping market, companies started adding flavorings to make people want to consume vapes more. Cinnamaldehyde, the artificial flavoring that creates cinnamon flavor in food, is now added to vapes to give them a cinnamony taste. But cinnamaldehyde also has been found to make the cilia in your lungs stop working, making it harder for your lungs to get rid of debris and expel pathogens, leaving you more vulnerable to lung infection. 2,5-dimethylpyrazine is added to vapes to make them chocolatey, and isoamyl acetate is added to create a banana taste. These chemicals have been found to cause pro-inflammatory effects on the respiratory tract that lead to cancer. A recent study found vape smoke contains benzene and other volatile organic compounds which lead to chronic respiratory.
If you can't say it, don't put it in your body. Like, especially if it comes down to like the breakdown of what's actually in these ingredients is like crazy. Like, what?
Conditions. Also, the vaping coils have manganese and zinc in them, which you end up inhaling, and this causes airway epithelial injury and tissue hypoxia. Mice chronically exposed to vape aerosols developed lung changes consistent to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, aka COPD, the disease that kills 100,000 Americans a year from smoking. But in the end, scientists and physicians agree that cigarettes are still worse than vapes. Cigarettes involve a combustion reaction with tobacco that causes you to inhale tar and other chemicals that ravage the lungs in unbelievable ways. One lung researcher compared smoking cigarettes to putting your mouth over a car exhaust pipe and inhaling. Also, you may not know this, but 1.3 billion people in the world currently smoke cigarettes. 1 in 8 people is a smoker. This is why cigarettes are killing millions of people a year. Cigarettes are a worldwide trend, whereas right now vaping is mostly relegated to Europe, the US, and China. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be worried, because more than ever, young people are vaping who have never even smoked cigarettes. And we do know that there are chemicals in these vapes that can kill you. And even though right now they might not be considered worse than cigarettes, there's still a lot we have to learn because these are a new concept. Scientists will continue to study how vaping affects people's lungs, especially young people's lungs. So if you want more information about vaping, you can click our podcast here. Thanks for watching our video about the insane way that humans have become addicted to getting nicotine into their lungs. Awesome, peace.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. And then we'll wrap it up. Do you think that vaping is a gateway to other ways of smoking? I'll leave y'all with that question. I hope to see that in the comments below. Let's discuss it. But other than that, I want to say I truly appreciate you guys for tuning in to my reaction to this video here. And if you love this type of content, feel free to look at my other ones here. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Be well, be safe. Peace.